Chris Hogan coming to you live from the Chiang Mai Nomad Summit. And I'm here with Mark Brenwall, who's an Amazon seller living in Chiang Mai. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, really good. Enjoying the conference.
Good. Were you speaking?
I did not speak. I spoke at the conference the first year, which I think was 3 years ago.
Very good. So Amazon, selling on Amazon. I think there was a sideline conversation I just heard. How long have you been doing that for?
I started selling in 2014, so 4 years.
And was that, you started here in Chiang Mai?
I started everything here in Chiang Mai, yeah.
And so, it's just reflecting back on what you've done, would you have been able to do that had you not moved out of the States?
I mean, I know a lot of younger sellers or newer sellers who still live in the States, and the first thing I tell them is, or ask them is, how come you're living someplace so expensive? I lived in San Francisco where my rent was $2,000 a month, and now I pay $2,000 a year. So just the cost of living alone is the reason to come here. And then the community on top of it, there's a bunch of other Amazon sellers here. We network all the time. I've learned so much just from being around those people. It'd have been hard to do the same thing in the States, really hard.
Very good. So what are you actually selling on Amazon?
I sell sports equipment, mainly focused on the CrossFit niche.
And you're getting that contract manufactured here within Asia, or you're rebranding somebody else's product, or you're selling somebody else's brand?
No, I have my own brand, and I manufacture everything in China.
Cool. Yeah. And so some people would say, well, that exercise equipment can get big and bulky, and shipping's difficult. So you must spend your nights packing boxes. But what does that actually look like?
I never see or touch my products. It is sort of hard to explain to, certainly like my parents, they don't have any idea what I'm doing. They're like, they think the same thing, like, how many boxes did you pack today? No. I've been to my factories, I know the people that make this stuff, I know what it looks like, I use it, I have friends that use it, but on a day-to-day basis, I don't ever touch any of the products I sell. It's a miracle.
Fantastic. So that's being fulfilled by Amazon?
Fulfilled by Amazon, yeah.
And so where is it warehoused?
Well, I sell in Canada and I sell in the States. I have a warehouse of my own in Portland, Oregon, and then I ship to Amazon as needed from there.
Cool. So is Portland, Oregon a good place to warehouse, or?
I can't recommend one place over the other. It's the first place I found outside of California. I try to stay out of California there. Pretty hard on state tax laws. I think there's so much to learn when you're doing a new business like this. Like, oh, now I need a warehouse. How do I find a warehouse? And you start working the phone and you start emailing people, and what does it cost? And you just kind of slowly tick away at the stone until you get the sculpture out of it. I'm learning stuff every day, and I've been doing it for 4 years now.
And so what is the best way to learn? It's basically...
honestly, I would say being around other people that do it. I talked to my bookkeeper, and she was just commenting how healthy she thought my business was, numbers-wise. And I said, of all the people I hang out with here in Chiang Mai, I sell the least. And I'm one of her bigger clients. So for me, I'm still a small fish, right? Because I'm around all these other big sellers. So that fact alone has probably been the biggest key to my success.
Cool. So I've met lots of different people here. This is my 4th day here in Chiang Mai. I leave tomorrow. Dropshipping is a very common, aspiration for many of the people that are moving here. I think there's been a lot of success going around. So if you had your time again, would you do the same thing or something different?
Well, first, let me just clarify. We don't, as Amazon sellers, we don't call ourselves dropshippers.
No.
Right? It's different.
Yeah.
I think dropshipping is a good way to get started. Basically building some traffic and selling other people's products. Amazon's getting harder, but then everything gets harder. I think pick something that you have some amount of passion for, and just stick with it until you're successwould whether it's dropshipping or Amazon or, I don't care, YouTube marketing. Whatever you think is going to float your boat, just go hard at it.
What about you? Would you have done Amazon selling all over again if you had that time again?
I love it. I mean, I'm down. I feel like I'm really proud of the products that we sell and the brand that we built, and it's been a lot of fun for me.
Fantastic. So did you want to give a shout out for your brand at all?
Yeah, as Amazon sellers, we kind of keep some of our secrets to ourselves.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Right on.
Yeah. And so then the other side of the story is for, there's an argument against doing Amazon selling and drop shipping because there's all of the costs involved in actually, forking out for the manufacturing and then having to warehouse before it even gets to Amazon, Amazon's fulfillment. And so why not just do affiliate marketing and or partner with the likes of an Amazon seller or an e-commerce person? So I guess it's each, different strokes for different blokes. What's your thoughts on maybe people coming here and starting out as an Amazon seller? Do you think it's a good place to start right now in the current climate?
Amazon is a super cash-intensive business. This last year I did somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.5 million in sales. But I still feel like I'm not struggling, but I'm still like just getting by. I'm still happy that my rent is $300 a month.
Yep.
Because all of that money goes back into either launching more products or getting more fulfillment or paying the warehouse. It's a very, very cash-intensive business. That said, I started with my first order of $4,000 4 years ago. Could you still do it? Probably. But just know what you're getting into. I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know it was going to be, at one point I'd be writing checks for $25,000. That is just, if I would have started knowing that, it would have been too big of a number to think about. Yeah. To risk $25,000 being shipped overseas. I think that doing drop shipping and affiliate marketing, if you really are just working on a shoestring, is probably a better way to go.
Well, it could be a good way to start until you find your feet and ready to write that $25,000 check.
Yeah. Totally. Agreed.
Fantastic. And so where else in Asia would you say you would move to in an instant that maybe would feel a little bit like Chiang Mai if Chiang Mai happens to get a little bit too crowded for you?
Great question. I love Chiang Mai. We've been to other places. When I first left the States, I went to the Philippines. That wasn't the right scene for me, although I did meet my wife there, which was awesome. Bali is also quite nice, quite a bit more expensive, I think. Also, the traffic there is insane. Chiang Mai has, in my opinion, the best of a lot of worlds. There's a lot of Westerners here. There's really good food here. It's not a big city like Bangkok where it's really crowded and congested. We don't have a beach, so there's trade-offs.
I miss the beach too.
Yeah, there's trade-offs.
I've only been here 5 days. I miss the beach.
For sure.
Sensational, mate. Well, thanks very much for your time, Mark. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and thanks for imparting some knowledge on the up-and-coming Amazon sellers, drop shippers, come digital nomads. I think they've got their work cut out for them. There's no word of it's not easy road.
It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy, but it's good.
Yeah. And being able to live on a shoestring budget and still get a good, beautiful meal in your belly.
Right on.
And interact with a nice community. That's pretty much all you need to keep going, right?
I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Keep watching more interviews on facebook.com/Beach City Life and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's just search for Beach City. Cheers.